watched the George Carlin AI special. Oh, I'm sorry, did you guys not know that that was a thing that exists in 2024? That is a thing that exists in 2024. And it's funny because I have said specifically about George Carlin even for years now how badly I wish he were still around so we could hear what his thoughts on the state of the world and current events are at this point in time, because I am sure he'd have some feelings on some stuff. Like no other comedian, just him specifically, because if you go through his entire career, he really had a way of just like nailing whatever was going on in the world at that point in time and saying the things out loud that we're all thinking, but no one wants to say out loud. He went there, and I respect the hell out of that. So that's why him specifically, I've said it like, if I had $1 for every time that I've said that, I would be rich. But this kind of, in a roundabout kind of way, kind of gave us a glimpse of what that might have looked like. So, here's the deal. The only reason I even knew this existed was because it was on the news that the George Carlin estate is suing the person who created this one. Because it's that much of a threat. It's that close to the real deal to where it's like, oh boy. Now, the clip that was played on the news, out of context, I didn't think sounded that much like him. But then I went to track down the actual thing, because now I'm curious, right? I wanted to hear what this thing was like. The original video is privated, for obvious reasons, but there have been countless re-uploads of this thing, so if you're looking for it, you can find it. You can find it. You might not find it searching directly through YouTube, but if you search through another search engine, maybe not Google, but another search engine, take your pick, it should come right up. Because it's weird, they're trying to bury this thing, but at the same time, it's very much still there. So, I don't know. Anyway. Yeah, it's a little bit off in the voice, but it's close enough to where within a couple of minutes, you kind of forget that it's not actually George. It's close enough. It's close enough. And it comes a lot closer speech-wise than most AIs that I have heard. That's why I was like, oh damn. Now, obviously, sometimes in like the delivery of a line or the delivery of a joke, it's a little bit off from the way he might have done it. But again, it's pretty close. And it kind of goes there on a lot of the similar topical things that I feel like he absolutely would have if he were still here. And I mean, it's this weird feeling that you're left with where a part of you is like, oh my god, this is kind of nice. It's kind of like having him back for a minute. But on the other hand, you know it's fake. It's not really him. And then you're just left with this hollow feeling and empty and almost feel just sad afterwards. Even though it's funny, the jokes are funny. But at the same time, it's still that little bit of uncanny valley quality about it, where even as close as it comes to being the real deal, your brain on some level subconsciously still gets that that's not quite a human. It's getting closer. It's getting harder to tell, but you can still tell. You can still tell. Instinctively, you know. So, I don't know. I have a lot of conflicted feelings about it, especially given that it's even like a self-aware AI that's making fun of itself for being one, but also throwing it out there that this is probably just the start of many dead celebrities coming back in the form of AI. It's like, oh god, what have we done? The technology is coming too far. This is giving the same vibe as like the AI that like, sure, we had the Beatle AIs that could replicate the voices and make them sing things that they didn't sing. Now we're at the point where it's writing entire unique songs in the style of, replicating the voices of, and lyrically similar to, in a way where I'm like, Now it's getting scary. Now we are hitting the point where I feel like, alright. The musicians who were against this in the beginning, I agree with you now. Now it's gone too far. There does need to be limits on this, I think, because now it's like, oh shit, it's taking out the human element altogether now, because that used to be the creativity. Now, if it's able to replicate that, oh boy. So, the fact that this came up with an entire, like, hour-long comedy sketch that sounds just like George Carlin, jokes that sound like ones he would have told, and so close with the voice that, like I said, within the first couple minutes, it's easy to forget it's not him. Now, if you compare it to younger George, yeah, it doesn't sound like him, but if you listen to, like, the last handful of specials that he did when he was older, it sounds like those. And that's why I was like, oh, shit. Okay. On one hand, I respect it for what it is. On the other hand, it just really makes me miss the real deal that much harder and wish he were still here to do this properly. But I definitely understand why the estate is upset. I 100% understand. If I were them, I'd be pissed too. This is absolutely wild at this point, that this is where we are technologically, and just seeing how fast this technology has snowballed in the past year or two. It's blowing my mind. Absolutely blowing my mind. And I am hitting the point where it's kind of starting to scare me a little. I know a lot of people were put off by it a long time ago, and I was over here like, nah, I think it's cool. Now I'm like, that's still kind of cool, but on the other hand, the scary factor is starting to outweigh the cool factor. I'm like, no, I see the potential for how this could be harnessed for evil. This is borderline as is. I'm like, don't know about that, but I mean, is it still a funny special? Yeah, but again, it will leave you with a lot of conflicted feelings by the end of it. There are certain things in there where I can definitely tell it's not the real deal, because, like, things like how he'll just hammer the same punchline over and over and over way more times than the real George ever would have. This goes way beyond, like, the rule of three in comedy. Like, it overdoes it. It's overkill. There's, like, one in particular that, if you choose to watch it, you'll know exactly which one I'm talking about. Trust me, you'll know. But most of it, it's close enough where I'm like, oh, this is freaky. This is freaky. Okay. Not sure that I like that. But if any of you guys watched/listened to it, what were your thoughts? Let me know down in the comments, because I kind of want to know what everybody's thinking, because everyone on the news that we're talking about it were pretty much shitting all over it. But I was like, there's some nuance here. There's some nuance that I feel like is worth discussing, maybe. So, I don't know. Anyway, that's it. So, as usual, you know what to do. If you like this video, go ahead and give it a like. If you're not already and you'd like to be, click subscribe. Hit that notification bell icon so you never miss an upload. Leave comments down below. Make sure you're following my social media accounts, my Facebook fan page, my Twitter, my Instagram, my eBay, my Reddit, everything and more is all down below. And if you like what I do here on this channel and you'd like to help support it, the donation link, as always, is down in the description. Get your name on the end card for a month from the time of donating. Anyway, guys, till next time, see ya.